This podcast is part of the It Was a Thing on TV podcast network.
An anthology on the bad, the short-lived, and the forgotten shows and events in television history. You are listening to It Was a Thing on TV.
No, that's it. I'm not modeling anymore for the two of you. Well, I guess I just have my first taste of the filthy side of this business. Need I remind you, sirs, I am a male model, not a male prostitute.
Episode 634, submission number 119, Sword of Justice. Sword of Justice aired on NBC from September 10th of 1978 through July 11th of 1979 for a total of 10 episodes.
Called guilty of 25 counts of embezzlement.
That is an absolute lie.
Those criminals framed me for something I didn't do. And I'll pay them back for every single day of those 3 long years. They say this place is like a college, but I want to go to school.
So you want to know about burglar alarms, huh?
You never know when precision acrobatics will come in handy.
And any lock can be picked if you got the right tools and the right touch.
You mean we're gonna bug the federal building?
There's a whole level of crime operating above the law. We're gonna help put an end to it.
Here goes Dak Rambo, and he's got a sword of justice. It's a sword he's carrying, and it's full of justice. It's Sword of Justice.
Dak Rambo doesn't even have a sword in this.
What horse shit? The show's called Sword of Justice, and he doesn't even fucking carry a sword. What kind of bullshit is this, guys?
This will make sense when I explain the following poem.
Okay.
The club is the sign of vengeance. It holds no man as friend. The spade is the sword of justice. Its rapier marks the end. So he's talking about a spade.
Oh. Like the ace of spades? The ace of spades?
So that is the credo of millionaire playboy and man about town, Jack Martin Cole. He lives hard, he loves hard. There's just one problem. He's found guilty of a crime he didn't commit.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Man much wiser than I once said, you deal with a lot of money, you deal with a lot of people. And you can't watch everyone. And if you can't watch everyone, watch out. So Jack Cole, jailed for a crime he didn't commit, sentenced to 3 years. And during his stay at the Gray Bar Motel, he decides to learn the tricks of the trade. In fact, I have the plot line here from a newspaper article. Jack Cole, the hero of Sword of Justice, is a wealthy wastrel who is framed for embezzlement by a very clever, very powerful group of criminals. And in prison, he goes to school because he looks at his roommate, Hector Ramirez. He says, Hector, they say this place is like a college. Now I want to go to school. While he's doing his time, his parents have died as a result of the crime he committed. And it is from then on that he devotes his time in prison, however long it may be, to the cause of justice. And when I say justice, I mean getting his money back. He learns various trades of the seasoned criminals who share his prison yard. And completing his 3-year sentence, Jack sets up shop with Hector and becomes a vigilante committee using all of his prison know-how to bring to justice criminals who operate above the law. With help from Hector and his former lawyer and current head of a DOJ white-collar crime task force, Arthur Woods, Jack Cole is ready, willing, and able to deliver upon those who would frame innocence for the cause of fear and greed, a losing hand, the three of spades, the sword of justice.
So wait, the three of spades is the card that's the sword of justice.
1 pip for every year he served.
Oh, okay. I was like, why would he pick such a low-numbered card? And I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
This sounds like the prototype of Knight Rider. It is because it kind of sort of is, because this came from the mind of one Glenn A. Larson. Probably saw what others were doing with the Saint and said to Christopher Crowe and Michael Gleason, you know what would be really awesome? I'm going to make my own Saint.
Let's not forget, Glenn Larson is no stranger to this podcast because he was responsible for Automan, and Mike, he was responsible for Raoul Manimal.
Yes, he was.
Mike is too busy playing 82-0 right now.
No, I'm not. I'm seriously not. I'm doing a little bit of research for later on in the show.
Okay, but I want to let everyone know, in case no one knows, we were playing a lot of 82-0 before we started the show.
Well, I think what we need to do is I think we need to explain what 82-0 is, because this is something that I only heard of probably within the last day and a half, 2 days. You are given a randomizer which pulls up different teams from the NBA with different eras, and you need to construct a team of 5 players, one at each position, from basically randomly selected teams and eras in NBA history. Greg and I were doing this before the show began for probably the better part of 45 minutes, and we were comparing our good teams, saying, hey, I got a team that's 74-8, and then somebody a couple minutes later, oh, I got a team that ended up 75-7, and I think I had the best team of all. I trumped anything Greg did and anything I did. I actually got an 80-2 team. And the thing is, like I said, I just heard about this within the last probably day and a half, 2 days, because it was brought up on the local sports radio station. They're saying they can't stop playing it. They're trying to get the perfect team, and I think the closest they got was 80-2. And then yesterday on the Cleveland Cavaliers Reddit, I saw a link for 82-0, and people are saying, hey, I got this team, and I got 79-3 or whatnot. It's sort of addictive, but also, as Greg and I have found out, if you can get certain players, you're almost guaranteed to get like 75 wins. If you get Wilt Chamberlain in the 60s or the 70s, if you get Michael Jordan in the 80s or 90s, you're just about guaranteed to get at least like 75, 76 wins, even if you put 3 bums on those teams with those 2 players. And I was trying to actually get like the Bizarro team. I was trying to get like a 0-win team. It's tough to even get 0 wins. I think the worst I got was like 6 wins, trying to pick the absolute worst players I could. But there's your little online hotness of the week sort of recap from me. And no, I was not playing that. I was actually doing prep for later on in the show.
Okay, well, Chico, we talked about Glenn Larson. He is the producer of this show. But now we got to get to the cast.
We've talked about Dak Rambo before in previous entry Paper Dolls, between looking at Morgan Fairchild and Nicolette Sheridan. But in this...
Wait, hold on, time out. No respect for freaking Terry Farrell? No respect for her.
She's tall.
Yeah, she is tall.
Jack Cole was played by Dak Rambo. He's best known for his role on the Dream Season of Dallas.
That's right, because remember, Victoria Principal dreamed all that shit.
Plus, Greg, remember in our little teaser for last week, we basically admitted you had no idea who the hell Dak Rambo was maybe about a year ago.
No, until we did every guest star on Hotel.
And now suddenly, Dak Rambo may be like a footstep away from being in our little mock Hall of Fame.
He's like the Terrell Davis 95-97 of this podcast. Now, we mentioned the Dream Season of Dallas. Now, they never did explain how, in the canon of Knots Landing, how Gary and Val's kid is named after Bobby because he was dead, but he wasn't dead. How'd they get out of that? They were like, we're not even going to bother explaining this shit.
So Hector Ramirez was played by Bert Rosario, who we talked about in previous entry, a.k.a. Pablo.
Hey, Greg, wasn't Bert Rosario a really good player for the Mets back in the day? Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was Ahmed Rosario. I'm sorry.
Who's now with the Yankees?
Former Cleveland player, too. He's been everywhere.
You should have a game of how many players have been on the Mets and the Yankees. That'd be like some immaculate glad. All Mets, all Yankees.
I mean, we could even do that right now. The first one that comes to my mind is Dwight Gooden. And that's about it.
David Cohn, you're not going to forget about
David Cohn, I'm sorry.
Straw?
Yeah, Straw, yeah, Strawberry.
Strawberry, okay.
Beltran was on both the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah,
Curtis, something sort of Grandish?
Oh, Granderson, yeah. Here's a deep cut. Shane Spencer. I got Shane Spencer's autograph last year at Hofstra. Very nice guy.
Jack and Hector cannot directly affect the outcome of Jack's quest for revenge. Any sort of extrajudicial activity, he's back inside. But his former lawyer, the guy who failed to get him off.
What did you say?
The guy who failed to get him off.
Somebody's got to get a hobby. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Oh, and Greg, I found another one, and you're going to appreciate this one. You know who else was on the Mets and the Yankees?
Oh.
One of your favorites, Graham Lloyd.
Oh, that's right. How to Speak Australian. Relief pitcher.
Yeah. How to Speak Australian. Second baseman, Travis Bizarro.
Has he hit for the cycle yet?
No, I think the Guardians gave up their lead.
Well, if this goes to extra innings, he could have plenty of chances to get it.
Oh, totally.
He should be batting third in this coming inning. Actually, yeah, top of the seventh. So I do believe he is third in this inning. So I'll break in if something happens.
If he gets this will be something.
This would be lovely.
Oh, it would be. And we haven't even gotten to the episodes of Dak Rambo getting his sword of justice, which isn't even a sword.
I will explain this before we get to the episode.
Okay. I'm just confused as to how it's a sword of justice. We have no freaking sword.
Have you taken a look at a spade on a playing card?
Yeah, I played freaking many games of Klondike Solitaire out of boredom on Windows 95 back in the day. Yeah.
No, there are no playing cards in 82-0. Come on.
What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. The guy who had to do the legal work so that Jack and Hector can remain.
Yeah, we were talking about getting him off. Getting him off. Yeah.
The lawyer who failed to get him off. Yes.
Yeah, we were talking about the lawyer who failed to get him off because apparently he didn't have enough Astroglide.
Arthur Woods, bad lawyer, good federale, played by Alex Courtney. Perennial that guy from That Thing, this was as steady a job as he could get.
Not as bad of a lawyer as Richard Avery, probably.
And his deputy, Federal Agent Buckner, is played by Colby Chester, who is in 129 episodes of The Young and the Restless.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. He was in an episode of Lottery.
Oh, cool. Do you think he had the ticket and the agents had to go up and say, hey, mister, do you have your lottery ticket that you won? No, I just left it in my, the glove compartment in my car. Why?
No, it only went through the wash about 25 times. Oh my gosh. Okay, now we need to get an episode of Sweepstakes to do a compare and contrast. Seriously, somebody has the episodes out there, and after Greg showed me what he found this morning, I have faith they're out there somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I found on archive.org, like, most of the Filthy Rich, and Mike was dying because he was so happy because he got to be like, oh, the Travolts, I love you, I love you.
Not just most of Filthy Rich, Greg. All of Filthy Rich.
Oh, I didn't realize it was all of Filthy Rich. I thought it was like most of season 2 and some of season 1.
I backtracked to see what episodes are out there. It's the entire series.
Oh, good.
The full original pilot, and then the edited version of that full original pilot cut into 2 half-hour episodes, episode 1 and 2. And then there was like a rough cut of one episode, and then a broadcast quality of that same episode. But yeah, all 15 episodes are accounted for. Greg, you're my hero.
I'll be your hero.
So the episodes, you know how a How Catch 'em works, right?
No.
Well, in contrast to a whodunit, a How Catch 'em is, you know who did it. This is how they're caught. And they were a big thing in the 70s.
I thought of How Ketchum was the artist who did Dennis the Menace. Well, it's Hank Ketchum. Never mind.
I thought it was like a sort of thing about Ass Ketchum from Pokemon, but...
Did you say Ass Ketchum?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's his, that's in the porno parody of Pokemon. Ass
No, it's the corn parody. Because Spotify.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, I get why he's called Ass Ketchum, because his lawyer didn't get him off.
Now I'm curious to see how much is being kept in this episode. Will this stay in the episode? We don't know. And don't tell us, Mike. It'll be a surprise.
Knowing Mike, he's going to make this a nice, professional level production.
Bullshit!
We haven't even... All right, can we finally get to these episodes?
Okay, before we get to the episodes, I've got to explain how all of this, how Catch 'em works.
Okay.
So we all know that a group of ne'er-do-wells have framed Jack Cole, and he is going after them one by one. So we start with one of the ne'er-do-wells noticing a 3 of clubs. And again, 3 representing every year Jack spent inside. On it, the opening line of the poem referenced earlier. The club is the sign of vengeance. It holds no man as friend. In other periods, we're going to see the 3 of diamonds and the message. A diamond's suit means fill your cup with wealth and worldly things. These are usually clues that Arthur and Buckner are going to have to pick up to lead to the villain of the week. If Jack and Hector wanted to protect somebody, they would be marked with the 3 of hearts, representing compassion, concern, caring, and a desire not to see the person come to harm. When all the clues came together, when all the witnesses were made to come forward, the villain of the week would be marked with that all-important 3 of spades. And anybody who has it knows that their number is up.
So wait, they're going to get Nipsey Russell to help out?
Son of a bitch! You're fucked. I got a little poem for the occasion. Oh, look at what card you got. You're going to fail because your ass is going to end up in jail.
So now that you know how the episodes work, let's talk about them. We start, as we do, with a 2-hour pilot movie, A Double Life. A playboy framed for a crime that resulted in the death of his parents is sent to prison where he learns a variety of criminal skills. Upon his release, he is determined to exact revenge on the men who framed him. Doyle Reddig, presumably one of the men who framed him, played by Larry Hagman, who would star alongside Dak Rambo on Dallas.
And this is right before Dallas, or during Dallas, right?
Yeah, it would have been a mid-season replacement in 77-78, so this would be between first and second season.
And I need to mention something. Over the last couple of weeks, I actually finally bought on Apple TV the complete series of Dallas. So now I have the complete series of Knots Landing and Dallas on Apple TV. My goal is I'm going to eventually watch all the episodes in broadcast order.
Several more names here, playing Dono Novanti, Lorenzo Lamas.
Oh, yes.
This would have been a young Lorenzo Lamas. 20 years old from what I can see.
Yep, and 3 years before Falcon Crest, obviously. And long...
Say it! Yes! Say it, because I was going to say the same thing, but you do it.
And long before he met Bobby 4 Killer, Bobby 5 Killer, Bobby 6 Killer on Renegade.
That wasn't what I expected. What I was expecting was you to make a reference about him being on Joe Schmo with his little banana hammock.
Oh, yeah, that too. But let's not also forget his dad was the inspiration for Fernando's Hideaway.
Playing his mother, Elena Novanti, Christina Ferrari.
She doesn't play the mother because she would be relatively young at this point.
You know who she would end up married to, right? She ended up marrying John DeLorean. And you know what that means. He probably witnessed him doing some of that,
Nose candy. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, the type of stuff David Stearns likes before he makes his shitty baseball decisions.
Has he signed Andrew McCutcheon yet, who got DFA'd?
No.
We need to give him the nose candy then.
He's too good for David Stearns to sign him off the dumpster outside of Dollar Tree.
Playing Noreen Cole, June Lockhart from Lassie and Lost in Space. And playing Alicia, Melinda Nod from Operation Petticoat. Finally, no character name, but Milton Seltzer from the famous Teddy Z is in this episode.
One more name in addition to those that Chico mentioned. Playing Carlos in this episode is Nehemiah Persoff. He voiced Papa Moskowitz in An American Tale.
Yeah, because we've mentioned Mama Moskowitz is Erica Yole.
Also from the famous Teddy Z, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Episode 2, Aloha, Julie Lang. A mob boss awaiting trial has murdered all of the witnesses against him, except for Julie Lang, who is hiding out in Hawaii. Jack Cole goes there to protect her from a series of hitmen, the last of whom rides his motorcycle off a very high cliff. Playing the titular Julie Lang, Belinda Montgomery, a.k.a. Doogie Howser's mama.
Oh, yes.
And playing Nancy in this episode, a very young Missy Gold. And I have to mention this one guy, playing the role of Jerry, Evan C. Kim, who is the star of the feature A Fistful of Yen from the Kentucky Fried Movie.
As we all know on this podcast, Chico loves the Kentucky Fried Movie. That's one of his favorite movies of all time. He loves the Kentucky Fried Movie just like how I love the movie Wings. Which, by the way, guys, it was now 334 episodes ago when for the first time ever I mentioned I love Wings. What is it, Mike?
The movie Wings?
Oh, the TV show Wings. I love that. But the silent movie Wings, I'm sure that's good too.
It won the first friggin' Oscar for Best Picture. It couldn't have been too bad.
Hey, the movie Wings made the Academy Awards lifespan.
I can't argue that. He's absolutely right. We do have two more names worth mentioning. One solely for the reaction of a certain individual among us. I'll save that for last. We have a character named Brandman in this episode, played by James Luisi. He was on 23 episodes of The Rockford Files back in the 70s. Right around this time, as a matter of fact. But the second one, no character name given, but Frank Campanella is in this episode. Not Roy Campanella, Greg.
Well, let's remember, Kiesla, when we did the Colbys like a long time ago, didn't know who Roy Campanella was, and that made us sad.
And you know, it's 3 years later, and she still doesn't know who Roy Campanella is.
No.
Episode 3, The Destructors. An underworld chieftain is abducted by Asian youths who want the syndicate out of Chinatown.
Chinatown?
Chinatown?
Chinatown.
Oh. Forget it, Jake. It's Chinatown.
Episode 4, The Skywaymen. Jack and Hector join an aerial circus flying vintage biplanes in order to bring to justice the leaders of a lucrative drug ring, but Jack's daredevil stunts are not to Hector's liking. Playing Rager, Ed Kooky Burns.
Hey, what shows is he famous for?
Sweepstakes, obviously, duh.
I was hoping you were going to mention 77 Sunset Strip, but if you insist on saying Sweepstakes first, that's fine.
And let's not forget, he did host the second pilot of Wheel of Fortune, where he was drunk off his ass.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely drunk off his ass when he did the second pilot.
And actually, this is the second week in a row we've mentioned Ed Burns. Because, Greg, if you remember last week, we talked about how he was on an episode of Married with Children with Anthrax.
The band Anthrax, not the thing Anthrax.
We went through that last week, too. And how at the end of the show, Anthrax and Kooky Burns were singing, Kooky, Kooky, lend me your comb.
Never did I ever imagine I'd hear a duet between Scott Ian and Ed Kooky Burns.
Oh, it's one of the great moments in Married with Children history. They're just so full of those absolutely absurd moments.
Playing Elliot Stroud in this episode, Robert Alda. This was actually his last guest spot before the springtime premiere of Supertrain.
Oh, you goddamn bet it made Robert Alda's career, okay? You goddamn well bet. And we can all thank freaking Keenan Wynn for inventing that super train.
One more name. Playing Cynthia in this episode, Randy Oakes from Chips, but also she did a week of Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour.
Episode 5, The Gemini Connection. Jack and Hector are intrigued by the mysterious Gemini, who is ripping off a top syndicate man to the tune of millions of dollars in laundered funds because they also intend to take the organization to the cleaners.
Oh, take to the cleaners because they're doing money laundry.
Playing Burson, Carmen Caridi, Detective Vince Catelli from NYPD Blue. Episode 6, The Girl on the Edge. Jack infiltrates a syndicate-run film piracy ring to rescue the niece of Arthur Woods before the organization discovers who her uncle is. A lot of names in this episode. Playing Diane, Elaine Joyce. Playing Carol, Robin Matson. From 1,045 episodes of Santa Barbara, 367 episodes of General Hospital, 163 episodes of All My Children, and Superdome.
Oh, yes.
Playing Howard Taylor, Peter Mark Richmond. Played Andrew Laird in 29 episodes of Dynasty.
There's one more person worth mentioning playing Harry Gaydell is Bradford Dillman. He is a favorite on Quinn Martin shows. I know he was on a number of episodes of Canon, quite a few more of Barnaby Jones. He was definitely somebody who Quinn Martin kept in his Rolodex.
Episode 7, Judgment Day. Jack angers a mob when he poses as a golf professional to help a judge who's in debt to the syndicate, and who just happens to be presiding over an important crime czar's homicide trial. Playing the judge, Judge Adams, Dawn Porter, from 32 episodes of Gidget as Professor Russell Lawrence, aka Gidget's daddy.
We have one more person in this episode playing Melissa David is Roz Kelly, Pinky Tuscadero from Happy Days.
Hey, for more about Pinky, go back to the Paul Lynde Halloween special. Oh, that was one you weren't here for, Mike.
And I think that's for the best.
Episode 8, Port of Entry. Jack Cole, wounded by a policeman's bullet, relies on Hector to avenge the slaying of an honest cop. Playing Marine in this episode, Trish Stewart from Chips and Salvage 1. Episode 9, Deadly Fashion. Jack designs a made-to-order plan to rescue Hector and his girlfriend, abducted by a crime czar who robs exclusive fashion lines to copy and mass-produce. Playing Lubitsch in this episode, Robert Loggia.
Oh, yeah, Robert Loggia. Because we all know, if you have orange juice, he's going to make sure you drink that orange juice.
That's right, you're going to drink it, kid. And also remember how you spell my name. Robert Loggia. R as in Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my gosh, that's Robert Loggia. B as in, by golly, that's Robert Loggia. E as in, everybody, look over there, it's Robert Loggia. R as in, Robert Loggia. T as in, thank heavens, my day has been made much better because I just saw Robert Loggia. Space. L as in, look, it's Robert Loggia. O as in, oh my gosh, I'm stealing my line from earlier. It's Robert Loggia. G as in, gee whiz, I think that's Robert Loggia. G as in, really, gee whiz, that is Robert Loggia. I as in, I can't believe I just saw Robert Loggia. A as in, A, Henry Winkler just saw Robert Loggia. Period.
Now, let's not forget, he was the heel in Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. And do you know who his bodyguard was in Over the Top? Terry Funk was his bodyguard in Over the Top. I really need to get the Blu-ray for Over the Top. That's my Sylvester Stallone wings.
Really? That's your Sylvester Stallone wings?
Yes.
Okay, whatever.
And the final episode, another 2-hour movie event, Blackjack.
With hookers?
No hookers.
Hmm.
Well, that's a shame.
Union funds have been embezzled to finance a casino. By the time the feds can have the union books audited, the casino will have been able to repay the money from its operations, so Cole's solution, bankrupt the casino before it can repay. Playing Paul Franks in this episode, George Hamilton. And playing Jerry Lombardi from Cagney and Lacey, John Carlin.
2 more names. First, playing Richard Gallagher is Ned Glass. We talked about him previously because he played Uncle Mo Plotnick on Bridget Loves Bernie. And I don't know how Chico missed the second name. And really, I think maybe we need to do what we did the last couple of episodes. Chico wasn't here last week for the fun we had with Emerald, but I think Chico will get the hang of this really fast. He got the hang of this a couple weeks ago. Playing Buddy Hackett.
Oh, hold on. Let me guess. Okay,
Hold on. Do I need to write it down? Hold on.
Yeah, write it down.
No, you know what? I'll write it down just for the sake of evidence, because gosh knows if I match, you actually want to see like proof of it. Oh, you know what? I don't even have any pieces of paper here, so I'm going to do what I did last week. I'm going to write on my hand.
Oh, good.
So who played Buddy Hackett on this episode?
Oh, Soupy Sales.
Yeah, it's right on my hand.
Well, if it was Soupy Sales, you'd be asking everybody for like the little green pieces of paper. We all know you'd ask that.
Yeah, but then he'd get in trouble for that.
Mm.
Buddy Hackett played Buddy Hackett in this episode, believe it or not.
And hilarity ensued, I bet.
Well, there's no takeout business, so I don't know about that necessarily. Well, this is a casino. Does the casino have a takeout business? No. Takeout business.
I bet if it was today, they'd have at least a DoorDash program.
That doesn't work that well with Soupy Sales. DoorDash.
So I gotta ask that age-old question. What happened?
If you look at the schedule, that paints a picture, because you're not getting ratings where this was scheduled. This originally aired on Saturday nights at 10 p.m. I think that's all I need to say right there. Saturday nights at 10 p.m., not really a hot spot for TV shows. At least based on my listings, it's not beating either of these shows. Maybe the first show, but not the second show. On ABC, it went up against Fantasy Island. This would have been second season of Fantasy Island, I do believe. But we talked about it earlier with Larry Hagman. It went up against Dallas. That's not good. Is it possible that it was reruns? It was so popular that not only did it air on, I think it was originally on Thursday nights when we talked about Flying High, because that's what replaced Flying High. Was it possibly so popular that it aired on Thursday and Saturday nights, or Friday and Saturday nights?
No, because that was the season where Thursday night on CBS was The Waltons, Hawaii Five-0, and Barnaby Jones.
I said Friday nights as well.
And on Friday nights was, I want to say it was Wonder Woman, Incredible Hulk, and Flying High.
No, Flying High was replaced by Dallas. One thing that Chico did not mention is that after the second to last episode, he talked about Blackjack, that 2-hour movie. There is well over a 6-month gap between Deadly Fashion, which aired on December 31st of 1978, and Blackjack, that 2-hour movie, which aired on Saturday, July 11th of 1979. When it came back, at least in reruns, the week I have is July 18th of 79. It did come back on Saturday nights. This time it looks like at 9 p.m. It went up against The Love Boat on ABC. And sadly, I don't know what it went up against on CBS at this point, because that night you had the Cleveland Indians playing the Chicago White Sox.
I'm sure in 1979, all of America was like, oh, we really want to see the Chicago White Sox in those short shorts.
Well, this was in Cleveland only. This wasn't a national game, best I could tell. Because this did air on the CBS affiliate in Cleveland, and I do believe they did have baseball at that time. As I said earlier, with the really bad time slot of 10 p.m. on Saturdays, you're probably going to get ratings which are similarly bad. And if you'd like proof of it, I'm going to give it to you right now. I only have 2 weeks worth of ratings, but they sort of show that correlation. Bad time slot means not good ratings. My first week of ratings is from the second week of October in 1978. Out of 64 shows, Sword of Justice came in at 49th. Oddly enough, we talked about Dallas and whatnot. Dallas, at least this week, came in a three-way tie at 51st. So maybe Dallas wasn't the big hit it was made out to be, for starters. Give it a few years, though. The second week I have is the second week of December of 1978. Out of 64 shows, Sword of Justice came in at 57th. And really, taking a look at this, looks like the bottom three shows, 62, 63, 64, were news shows. Heidi somehow wasn't 61st. Heidi special, I don't know what they mean by that. I'm guessing just a special airing of Heidi. But besides that, the only other regular TV shows that did worse than it in this week were Paper Chase, which we've talked about, Dick Clark Live Wednesday, and Welcome Back, Kotter.
The actual movie placed 7th of that premiere week, September 10th. The show was not worth the price tag per episode, which came up to $390,000, which in 2026 money is $2 million almost.
Oh, that's not good.
I think comparatively speaking, $2 million for a show nowadays, I'd say it's not bad. Oh, we talked about a lot worse when we talked about Father of the Pride, where it cost $2.5 million an episode, which I'm sure if you did that in 2026 dollars, that's probably in the range of $4 to $5 million. But you're definitely not getting the payoff with the ratings. Again, the time slot doesn't help much.
Fred Silverman, who came over from ABC, decided that November to just put Sword of Justice out of its misery, as well as every other new offering NBC had that year. Remember, this was going to be the year of NBCS? Yeah, nobody saw that. Nobody saw the Capra Mysteries, Dick Clark Live Wednesday, Grandpa Goes to Washington. We talked about the Waverly Wonders already.
Oh, just you wait till 1979. Fred Silverman has greatness up his sleeve for NBC. Wait until you see some of the shows he's got lined up. Super Train. Hello, Larry. Turnabout. Kate Loves a Mystery. Oh my gosh. He's going to bring so much greatness to NBC, Chico. You can complain about losing all those shows. Great times are ahead for NBC.
That's right, Mike. It's me, Sharon Glass. There's some great shows coming at NBC in 79, 80. Yep, I'm smoking a cigar. I'm a real man. I'm smoking a cigar. Puffing that cigar. Yeah.
I seriously thought you were doing like your Australian version of somebody there. I was waiting for like a Foster's Australian for beer or a Travis Bizarro reference.
Hold on a second. I can do it. Hold on. Beer. Foster's Australian for beer. They drink beer in Australia. They don't smoke cigars because they're real men who drink beer.
Greg, you got me thinking. On Turnabout, did Sharon Gless ever drink beer? And if she did she drink Foster's?
Was Foster's even a thing in 1979?
Oh, I bet it was. But, you know, if I have to do instantaneous research on an alcoholic beverage, damn it, I'm going to do it. Foster's beer. Founded in 1887, Greg. Come on.
1887, you said?
1887.
I just want to be sure.
Or it says 1888 on Wiki.
Oh, 1888. Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay. Well, you know what that means, Mike.
Oh gosh.
In 1959, Foster's Beer had a nice anniversary.
It is 1888. I think what you should have said is 1957 because
I
19
said 1957.
you said 1959, I thought.
Okay, coverage in 1957.
Whatever. Well, you
Okay.
see, now, okay, just on that same path, Greg, I'm wondering when Foster's got to America. That, I think, is maybe the question you should be asking. I'm not looking for an answer because, unfortunately, I'm playing the three of clubs.
Oh, look, Mike, Chica, look at what Mike has. He's really got the three of clubs from Card Sharks.
He must be really pissed off to want that big revenge.
Well, no, what this represents, this is the three of clubs, and this is basically denoting the end of the show because I absolutely want to club whoever picked this episode over the head. Hey, Greg, did you pick this episode?
No, Chico did. Hit his bald head on it all the way from North Carolina.
Well, we talked about that last week in the preview for this episode. I didn't pick it. Greg didn't pick it. Fist raised in the air. Chico!
Chico! But hey, we got to talk about Dak Rambo again.
You know how much of a pain in the ass it was to pull out this card out of that entire frigging deck of cards? Those cards are not very heavy, and they've just been sitting on a shelf for the last, however long I've had the cards now, 7 months, 8 months. They actually get like stuck together. So it was like kind of hard work to get this card for this bit that worked for all of about 30 seconds. But anyhow, back to Chico before I really play the three of clubs on this episode.
Sword of Justice never got an official home release, but the pilot movie and the final episode are on YouTube unofficially. The other 8 episodes are considered lost media. Well, what can I say? Mike is playing his gigantic 3 of spades on me. And
Clubs! It's a three of clubs! I'm going to club you over the head with the three
Will
of
you
clubs!
listen to Mike? Will
No,
you listen? Wait.
You
what?
said three of spades. You said
Will
three of
you
spades.
let me- Carajo mio, will you let me finish?
Oh my
Hold
god.
on.
Wait,
I
wanna
got
hear-
time
yeah.
out. Time out. I got a song. I'm playing with the three of clubs. You know who deserves the most. I'm playing with the three of clubs. I know that's not how the song goes.
So anyhow, it's not the three of spades, it's the three of clubs. How are you going to get yourself out of this one?
Well, the 3 of clubs holds no man as friend, but you know what the 3 of spades means?
Get your pet spayed and neutered?
It means it's time for the end. Sword of Justice just became a thing on TV.
You can find us at our website, itwasathingontv.com, on Facebook at It Was a Thing on TV Podcast, and elsewhere at It Was a Thing on TV. You can find us on any podcast player, and we're also on YouTube, where you can subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our releases, including what's coming up next time.
We're diving back into the world of shows that are lost in translation. We made a bit of an accidental discovery of an Australian show that was ported over to the US. And it was supposed to be this really raunchy, really sexy soap opera. But what good is a sexy, raunchy soap opera if nobody watches?
Hey, not to spoil it, but you know what network this is on? It was on NBC with Fred Silverman. So this ranks up there with those super powerhouse series like Super Train and Hello Larry and Turnabout. So you know this is going to be a winner of an episode. Problem is we can't really say much about it because there is nothing online out there. We can make judgment based on the Australian show, but what they did on the Australian show definitely wouldn't fly over here back in the late 70s, early 80s. So what are we going to talk about next week? I don't know, but I think it might be the opposite of nice. I don't know. So that episode will be coming at you next week right here. It is a thing on TV. As always, thank you to Greg and Chico, and thank you for listening. And come here next week and see what's so nice about this Australian episode that was ported over.
Wow!
Did you get us anything good from Florida?
We didn't have much money, so we got the only thing we could afford. It's out on the porch.
Hey, kids. Hey, as soon as I bring in the rest of your bags, I got a treat for you. Yep. Kooky, lend me your comb.
Who's he?
That's Kooky. Your mother said she'd walk and feed him, but you know the first rainy night, who's going to be doing it? By the way, who are those guys out on the stoop?
Oh, that's the band Anthrax. Yeah. They ate Mom's mystery pack, so the Environmental Protection Agency quarantined them to our house for 6 months.
Well, what kind of horrible sounds am I going to have to be listening to for the next half year?
Kooky, lend me your comb. Kooky.
I got smog in my noggin. Ever since you made the scene.
Baby, you're the Grinchiest.